Hey guys, it's me Seren back with another video. So I have so many videos to film. It is really unreal. So I need to do a video on Wonder Woman. I'm still gonna do that. I'm still gonna do a video, a part 2 video. Sorry, the computer keeps getting dark. So I have to do a video on Wonder Woman. I'm still doing a video on that. I'm still doing a video on Shea Moisture Part 2, their nonsense. And I'm definitely still doing a video on Erykah Badu's crazy just tweets. I'm definitely going to be doing videos on all of those things. But before I get to those things, I kind of felt like I had to do a video on Ghost in the Shell because I feel like that piggybacked off of my video that I posted up earlier in this week about Nicole Bahari and Sleepy Hollow. So last year, 2015, early 2015, they announced that Scarlett Johansson was getting cast as the Major in the live action remake, reboot, adaptation, whatever you want to call it, because there have been several Ghost in the Shell movies already, but that they cast Scarlett Johansson in the new Ghost in the Shell movie that's coming out. It's supposed to be coming out next year, 2017. So when this originally first broke, people were like, what the fuck? This is completely blatant whitewashing. The Ghost in the Shell is a Japanese anime based off of a Japanese manga. It's set in Japan, a post-nuclear Japan, and a lot of the themes and concepts of Ghost in the Shell are very uniquely Japanese. They revolve around Japanese culture. They revolve around Japan, as a place. And when they announced that Scarlett Johansson was cast, they were like, well, this is fucking whitewashing. Like, why would you cast Scarlett Johansson? So now they've started production on the movie, and they've released some set pics of Scarlett Johansson wearing this awful Ramona Flowers, East Asian stereotype trope ass black wig with the blue streaks, which a lot of people were like, the Major has like purplish blue hair in the anime, and a lot of people are and they're still keeping her name exactly the same, and I believe they're saying that they moved the setting to San Francisco, but they're keeping all the names of the characters the same. And then someone posted on Twitter that the top 4 lead characters of I don't have the IMDb in front of me. Let me open it up so I can tell you all their names. Well, you know what? I think I saved the picture on my phone. Somebody went on IMDb and found out that the top 4 build characters are also all white. They're also all, there we go. You have Michael Pitt as the Laughing Man. I don't know how to pronounce this. Palu Asbeck as Batu. And you have Michael Wincott, who I don't know. They don't have a name yet. And then you have Scarlett Johansson as the Major. And if you look, the names are still the same. They just have this white cast. It's completely whitewashed. And a lot of people are saying, well, it's fine that it's whitewashed because the whole storyline, I don't want to go too much into the storyline for people that are not that familiar with it. But people are like, oh, the whole storyline involves, androids and, robots. And so why does it matter if, a white woman is playing this character? It's like, well, number one, it's fucking Japanese. Like, it's a Japanese property. It's based in Japan. It's based around Japanese mythology and the whole concept of Japan after this fallout. The whole concept is fucking Japanese, and that shit matters. Like, okay, so what if they're fucking cyborgs? They're fucking Japanese cyborgs, my nigga. Like, what you're saying makes no fucking sense, bro. And it's just like, number one, they're fucking Japanese cyborgs. Like, I'm sorry, but a bitch that looks like fucking Scarlett Johansson would not be a Japanese cyborg. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not believing it. Like, it's just no. I'm sorry. No. Still no. I'm not buying it. Number two, we already have, again, this lack of representation for people of color, for women of color specifically. So it's just like, when you have these properties that are specifically made in, a certain culture, that are set in a certain time and place, Why whitewash it? You're literally stealing opportunities away from people of color and women of color. And it's not like Scarlett Johansson is out here motherfucking hurting for roles, because she's not. Like, the bitch is in fucking everything, okay? So it's just like, it's so offensive. And, you know, we've seen time and time again with Gods of Egypt, with fucking Exodus, with Noah, with, you know, we see time and time again that, you know, there's this idea that, again, whiteness is the norm, it's the standard, it's universal, and a white person can be anything. A white person can be literally anything. And you see these movies and these TV shows that are really, really invested, kind of like what I was saying in my last video, in upholding this idea of what matters and what doesn't matter, what's important and what's not important, what stories deserve to be told and what stories don't deserve to be told, to the point where they're even co-opting the stories of the culture of people of color, and they're putting these white people in it. And it's like, again, just like I said in my video, studies have even shown that diverse movies and television shows are more successful. They make more money, they have higher ratings. And, you know, so now there's all this backlash swirling around Ghost in the Shell, and people are talking about your movie for the wrong reason. People are talking about boycotting your movie. Gods of Egypt flopped. Exodus, Gods and Kings fucking flopped. You know, all these, pretty much every live action adaptation they've tried to do of these animes and mangas have fucking flopped. Fucking Avatar, The Last Airbender, where they cast all white people, they cast fucking people from Twilight and that shit flopped. And they come up with all these reasons as to, like, why the movie's flopped, and oh, there's just not an audience for it here in the States. It's like, no, like, you're literally sabotaging the projects with these whitewashed casts, because that's how invested you are in upholding the status quo that states that whiteness is universal and it's the norm, it's the standard, and those are the people whose stories deserve to be told, even if you have to insert them into the narrative of, you know, a person of color. You're so invested that you will literally flush. It cost $80 million for Lionsgate to make Gods of Egypt. You literally flushed $80 million down the fucking toilet. You might as well have just lit that money on fire and burned it in Lionsgate Studios. And people told you from day one that the casting was crazy, and you still went along with it because that's how invested you are in this status quo. Like, that is how invested you are in this belief that for something to be a success, it has to center whiteness, that you're literally defying logic, what the numbers say, what the studies have shown. You're just like, you know what? I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what the studies have shown. I don't care what the fans are saying. I don't care what people are saying they want to watch. We're going to put white people in this because we know what you really want. And you really want to see more white people. Like, no, we're tired. We're tired. We're tired. We're exhausted. We don't need to see any more white people for a while. Like, we're done. I want to read you guys some tweets. Because people have been going off literally all day. All day, all day, all day. I think that's a Kanye West song. See, I don't even know where that's from. That's how fucking subconsciously that shit's in my brain. Let me go back. I want to read you guys some tweets because a lot of people have said some really, really, really good stuff about this. Like, look at this. This is absurd. This is absurd. Is it focusing? Is it focusing? Like, somebody said this, it looks like Yellowface. Like, it basically looks like Yellowface. Like, looks like Yellowface. So this Ghost in the Shell whitewashing is a mess. When you're making the exact same damn film, hell yeah, you should cast it correctly. This isn't a Seven Samurai Magnificent Seven situation. That took one film and retold the story from a different cultural perspective. Which I also see people talking about, what was that movie called? Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, which is also an American live action adaptation of a Japanese property, but they literally switched the whole thing up. Like, they literally changed the whole story, they changed the whole setting. That was not, I don't like, it was technically an adaptation, but I really feel like they took more inspiration and they created a new story. That is not what this is. That is not what Ghost in the Shell is. They didn't take the Japanese inspiration to create a new story in an American, you know, white cultural, Anglo-Saxon, whatever you want to call it, cultural context. They literally took the Japanese property. They left the characters the same. They left the storyline the same. They just put white people in these roles as if we weren't going to notice or something. Like, again, upholding this idea, the status quo, that whiteness is universal, that white people can be anything. They could be anything they want to be. They could be black, Rachel Dolezal, if they want to be. They can be East Asian if they want to be. They could be Japanese if they want to be, Ghost in the Shell. They can be, Native Indigenous Hawaiian if they want to be, Emma Stone and Aloha. They can be, fantastic imaginary Native Americans if they want to be, Rooney Mara and Pan, which also fucking flopped. They can be anything they want. And again, we're relegated to these boxes, these narratives, and we are not allowed out because we are not seen as valuable. And again, these studios are so invested in this idea that it's really almost like a collective delusion of this parroting of this rhetoric of like, well, this is what makes money, and we have to do a white cast. What Ridley Scott said when he did Exodus, Gods and Kings, oh, I would love to cast a guy named Muhammad, but if I did that, my movie wouldn't get made and my movie wouldn't make any money. Well, your movie fucking bombed, it fucking flopped, and the whitewash cast was a big part of why. It's literally a collective delusion saying that, one, white people are the only people that go see movies, they're the only people that read books, they're the only people that watch television shows, that they're the ideal consumer, and the rest of us are just fucking chopped liver, despite the fact that the numbers and the stats literally fly in the face of this and say that diversity makes more money. It's like a collective delusion, like literally. Let's read some more tweets. I repeat, let Ghost in the Shell flop. Watch the anime movie at home. Spend time with family. Go on Tumblr. Live. Yeah, don't watch this shit. Don't even go hate watch it, because still, hate watching this shit still gives them numbers. I don't hate watch shit. I let shit flop. Dragon Ball, The Last Airbender, May It Rest in Hell, Legend of Chun-Li, and now Ghost in the Shell. How many more will be whitewashed? They're also talking about making a Death Note movie, which I love. I love Death Note. They're talking about making a Death Note movie, and they've already talked about casting some random pale white boy that I never even heard of. It's not even like they cast, like in Ghost in the Shell, they cast Scarlett Johansson because allegedly they wanted a big name. Someone tweeted this. They casted her because they wanted a big name for an obscure project. And it's like, what makes Ghost in the Shell an obscure project? The fact that it's a Japanese property, the fact that it's a property that features people of color, the fact that it's a property that has a woman of color as the protagonist, that makes it an obscure property, because anything that doesn't center whiteness is obscure, is mainstream, is in a side aisle fucking somewhere, and is not seen as the norm, as a standard. All this shit goes back to the same problematic ass, racist ass fucking thought processes, and there's really no way around it. There's really, really no way around it. We need to boycott Ghost in the Shell with our pocketbooks. Hollywood gotta learn this ish is not cool. Someone else said, also, it takes a certain kind of privilege to take the job anyway, knowing it's an Asian property. Yes, because I see a lot of people saying like, oh, that's not Scarlett Johansson's fault, and I love Scarlett Johansson, she's a great actress, don't penalize her for this. Like, no, that bitch is not hurting for money. She's worth $80 million. She's in these fucking Avengers movies. She didn't have to take it. And I know the saying is like, well, if you don't take it, like, somebody else will. Like, well, bitch, let somebody else get associated with this fucking backlash. Because she already has been associated with racist backlash because of that damn Lucy fucking bullshit where she's shooting Taiwanese people for not speaking English in their own native country. Like, you already have a history with East Asian fucking properties, bitch. Like, maybe you should have sat this one out. She doesn't fucking get let off the hook either. Just like Rooney Mara didn't get let off the hook for that Pan shit. Just like Zoe Saldana didn't get let off the hook for that Nina Simone shit. I really don't care how much you like Avengers. ScarJo not getting let off the hook for this shit either. Like, nah, sorry. Edge of Tomorrow adopted a Japanese manga perfectly with 0 issues. Ghost in the Shell could have did the same, but didn't. Totally agree. If there was ever a franchise that could break through the noise just on name alone, it is Ghost in the Shell. They really didn't need one of the big budget names to push the movie and should have been more faithful. Somebody said it's not like she's one of the most iconic characters in Japanese cinema or anything. Oh, wait. Like, it's ridiculous. Somebody put a whole bunch of examples. Johnny Depp and Rooney Mara as indigenous Native American characters. Like, white people are not universal. They can't just play everything and anything. Like, nah. The whitewashing is ridiculous. The whitewashing is absurd. It's ridiculous. It's not viable. It doesn't make money. These movies keep bombing. They keep getting all this backlash. And it's been proven that diverse movies make more money anyway. Like, let go of this idea of the status quo being universal whiteness. Let go, but they're not going to let go. They're not going to let go. They can't let go. They can't let go. This is what I said. Just like I said in my last video on Sleepy Hollow, they're willing to sabotage their own projects to uphold the status quo of whiteness as universal. Diversity makes money. It's been proven that diversity makes money and whitewashed films flop, and they do it anyway because whiteness. Like, it's that collective delusion that's irresistible to a lot of white people. Whiteness is a hell of a drug. Like, instead of making these movies, just light the money on fire. Just light the money on fire. Light the money on fire. Light the money on fire. And a lot of people also started saying, you know, oh, where are the fanboys that get mad about, you know, race changes in canon? Where are all the fanboys that got mad at Michael B. Jordan being cast in Fantastic Four? Where are all the fanboys that got mad about the fucking race swapping in Supergirl, the race swapping in Daredevil? You know, where are all the fanboys that got mad at that? Where are they? Where your ass was at? Just like I said in my Hamilton video, it's all good when it's whitewashing. Oh, it's all good when it's whitewashing. But as soon as the shoe's on the other foot and it gets bent for people of color, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now they're coming out the woodworks with all these excuses as to why it's fine for this white woman to play this iconic Japanese character. It's, again, it all goes back to racist crap. Racist fucking bullshit. Like, it's absurd. It's ridiculous. Kiva Bay, who's awesome, everyone should follow her. This is a property where you can take the risk, and she put that in quotes because we all know there's no risk involved. This is a property where you can take the risk on a diverse cast because it consistently makes money with Western audiences. Americans have already flocked to theaters to see a Japanese major, like twice now, 3 times, a lot. Ghost in the Shell pretty much broke anime onto Western movie screens across the nation. My point is that whitewashing Ghost in the Shell actually harms your cred with your audience for no gain. Ghost in the Shell is already popular with Western audiences. It was already released to Western theaters with the Japanese Kusanagi to rave reviews. It pioneered anime in Western cinema. There is zero excuse. We already tested Japanese Motoko in the West. Japanese major already works here. Like, you know? Only an issue when someone is non-white. Y'all had a lot to say about Johnny Storm recently. Not a word about ScarJo playing a woman named Motoko, huh? You know? Like, and it's the whole top billing of the cast. The whole first 4 characters are white. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's not about making money, and it's not about that's good business, because again, just like I said in my first Shea Moisture video, that operates under the assumption that good business means catering to white people, means catering to whiteness, as if white people are the only people that consume products, even though the numbers show that diversity sells. All of this is about maintaining the idea that whiteness is universal and the rest of us are other, and the rest of us do not deserve to have our stories told, even in our own stories, that the only way our stories become valid is if they're routed through this whiteness and inhabited by these white bodies. And it's racist, and it's garbage, and it's ridiculous, and we're sick of it. Like white people, we're sick of your shit. Sick of your shit. Done. So that's what I had to say about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. So Wonder Woman, Shea Moisture, and Erykah Badu's tweets, videos, probably next week. I don't know if all 3 of them are going to be next week, but they're definitely coming. So for anyone wondering what are my thoughts on that. Oh, and I've also had a couple video requests, so don't think I've forgotten about you, people that are making requests. I'm going to get to those too. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Check the description box for links as always. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.